Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating topic of the New World Order and its connection to end-time prophecies. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to like, share, and comment below your thoughts. Also, consider subscribing for more exciting videos. And if you feel extra generous, hit that super thanks button. Let's get started. The concept of a New World Order (NWO) envisions a centralized global governance system that unifies political, economic, and social structures across the world. Often associated with conspiracy theories, the NWO is frequently tied to prophetic visions, particularly in the context of end-time scenarios. Many believe that a NWO will emerge in response to global crises, such as climate change, economic instability, or political unrest, and will be marked by a single, authoritarian government that enforces global unity. In end-time prophecy, especially within certain religious traditions, the NWO is seen as a precursor to a new world order led by a singular, powerful figure, often associated with the Antichrist. This global government could enforce a unified religious system, potentially replacing traditional beliefs with one dominant faith, controlled by the state. In the year 2025, proponents of this vision suggest that technological advancements, political consolidation, and global crises may converge to bring about this centralized system. The development of surveillance technology, artificial intelligence, and global financial systems could pave the way for a global authority, fulfilling the prophetic warnings of a totalitarian world where power is concentrated in the hands of a few. In Christian eschatology, the concept of a New World Order (NWO) is often closely linked to prophetic visions in the Bible, particularly in the books of Revelation and Daniel. These scriptures are frequently interpreted as foretelling the rise of a one-world government, the emergence of the Antichrist, and the establishment of a global totalitarian regime. This vision of the future has become central to many end-time theories, especially in relation to technological advancements, international cooperation, and the potential for a unified political and religious system. The Book of Revelation, often seen as the cornerstone of Christian eschatology, contains several key passages that many interpret as foretelling a one-world government. In Revelation 13, a powerful ruler, frequently identified as the Antichrist, is described as commanding the loyalty of people from every tribe, people, language, and nation. This ruler, referred to as the beast, is said to have authority over the entire world, exercising control over economic, social, and religious life. Revelation 13:7 states, "It was given power to make war against God's holy people and to conquer them. And it was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation." This global domination, often envisioned as a totalitarian regime, resonates with modern concerns about centralization of power, especially as technological and geopolitical forces align in ways that could enable such control. For many interpreters, the prophecy in Revelation is seen as a clear depiction of a one-world government. In an age where global interconnectedness is increasingly facilitated by technology, some believe that these biblical prophecies are being fulfilled through the rise of transnational organizations, multinational corporations, and the growing reliance on digital systems that transcend national borders. Technological advances, such as surveillance, artificial intelligence, and digital currencies, are viewed as tools that could help establish the type of control described in Revelation. The beast's authority over the world's economy could, in this context, be linked to the development of a global financial system that integrates nations under a single economic structure. The Book of Daniel also offers prophetic visions that many believe align with the idea of a new world order. In Daniel's vision of the four beasts, Daniel 7, the first three beasts represent historical kingdoms Babylon, Medo-Persia, and Greece, while the fourth beast is said to be different from all the others, more terrifying and powerful. This final beast is often interpreted as representing a future global empire that will oppress the people of God in the end times. Some theologians argue that this dreadful kingdom could be a one-world government, emerging after a period of global conflict and upheaval. The rise of the final kingdom is often thought to signify the consolidation of power in the hands of a single political or economic entity, which could ultimately suppress dissent and control people worldwide. Some interpreters believe that this beast-like empire will establish a unified religious and political system, forcing everyone to conform to its rule, which parallels the notion of a new world order that centralizes power and authority. Perhaps one of the most iconic symbols associated with the New World Order is the mark of the beast, mentioned in Revelation 13:16-17. The mark is described as something that people must take in order to buy or sell in the global economy, and it is said to be tied to the worship of the beast. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark. Many modern interpretations of this prophecy suggest that the mark of the beast is a reference to a global economic system facilitated by digital currency or biometric technologies. The rise of cashless societies, electronic payment systems, and the increasing use of surveillance technologies could make such a scenario more feasible. As the global economy becomes more dependent on digital platforms and online transactions, concerns grow that a future, centralized government could use these systems to enforce control, requiring individuals to conform to a unified system in exchange for basic economic participation. The mark of the beast may also be seen as a form of identification or tracking, which could be enforced through technologies like RFID chips, digital IDs, or even cryptocurrency-based systems. These tools, in the context of a new world order, would enable totalitarian control over global commerce and individual freedoms. The concept of the New World Order NWO is often intertwined with conspiracy theories suggesting that powerful elites or global organizations are secretly working to establish a global government. Groups such as the United Nations World Economic Forum WEF, and the Bilderberg Group are frequently cited as potential architects of this globalist agenda. According to these theories, these elites aim to dissolve national borders, erode national sovereignty, and create a unified political, economic, and social system that would centralize power in the hands of a few. Proponents of this view argue that global events like economic crises, pandemics, and conflicts are being orchestrated to facilitate the gradual implementation of this agenda, with the ultimate goal of creating a single, authoritarian world government. A key element of these theories is the surveillance and control that would be necessary to maintain such a global regime. In many versions of the NWO narrative, advanced technologies like biometric data collection, facial recognition software, and digital tracking systems are seen as tools that would enable the authoritarian leaders of this system to monitor and control populations on an unprecedented scale. With the increasing integration of technology into everyday life, there are growing concerns over digital privacy, as personal data is more easily collected and tracked. Critics worry that this data could be used to create a global infrastructure of surveillance, where governments and powerful corporations would have the means to control people's movements, economic transactions, and even thoughts. In this dystopian vision, the use of technology could pave the way for a totalitarian state that enforces its will through the manipulation and tracking of individuals, reinforcing fears of a future where personal freedoms are severely restricted. Many end-time prophecies, particularly in Christian eschatology, suggest that a unified global religion could emerge in the final days, aligning with the rise of the Antichrist and the establishment of a one-world government. This global religious system would either directly or indirectly submit to the authority of the Antichrist, as foretold in the Bible. In Revelation 13, a false prophet is described who will promote the worship of the beast Antichrist, urging people to abandon their traditional faiths in favor of a new, unified belief system. This prophecy is interpreted by many as a prediction of a one-world religion that could supersede existing religious traditions. This global religious system, some theorize, might not simply be a forced worship of the Antichrist, but could also involve the syncretism of different religious beliefs. Religious syncretism refers to the blending or combining of elements from various faiths, creating a unified spiritual system that appeals to a global audience. Scholars of eschatology suggest that such a one-world religion could emerge from the convergence of Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and other world religions, each of which might adapt to the demands of global unity and tolerance. Under this system, traditional doctrines and practices could be diluted or altered to promote harmony and cooperation between faiths, even if that means compromising core beliefs. The Antichrist's rule would likely foster such religious syncretism through political and religious cooperation, promoting ideals of tolerance and unity as necessary for global peace. In this vision, global religious and political leaders could work together to enforce this new spiritual order, positioning unity and cooperation as the guiding principles, while traditional faiths are either marginalized or absorbed into a broader, more inclusive belief system. This scenario raises concerns among religious communities about the potential loss of distinct spiritual identities in the face of growing globalism. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence (AI), blockchain technology, and surveillance systems has led to growing concerns that these tools could enable the rise of a high-tech, omnipresent global regime, potentially fulfilling the concept of a new world order (NWO). In the Book of Revelation, the mark of the beast is often associated with a system that controls commerce and individual participation in society. Some believe that this mark could take the form of digital identification systems, potentially realized through technologies like RFID chips or biometric identification. These systems could allow governments or powerful entities to track individuals' movements, transactions, and behaviors in real time, giving them unprecedented control over the global population. A significant component of the NWO theory revolves around the rise of centralized digital currencies. Bitcoin, central bank digital currencies (CBDCs), and other forms of digital currency are often seen as the precursors to a system that centralizes control over the global financial system. If implemented on a global scale, these digital currencies could allow a unified global government to control the flow of money, making traditional financial systems and national currencies obsolete. The potential for a central authority to manage digital transactions could result in a system where no one could buy or sell without complying with the requirements of the government, including receiving the mark. This scenario is interpreted by some as the fulfillment of prophecy in which economic participation is tied to the mark of the beast. In such a world, individuals would be required to adopt digital systems for all transactions, creating a scenario where economic freedom is contingent upon compliance with a global, centralized regime. With the integration of AI and digital identification technologies, this system would be both efficient and invasive, providing authorities with the tools to monitor, control, and potentially manipulate every aspect of people's lives. The shifting geopolitical landscape of the 2020s presents an intriguing backdrop for the potential emergence of a new world order (NWO), with global challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and economic instability acting as catalysts for greater international cooperation. These issues have highlighted the interconnectedness of nations and the need for coordinated action, leading some experts to speculate that the world may move toward a unified global system to address these crises. One of the key events that accelerated global cooperation in recent years was the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic led to an unprecedented level of international collaboration in public health and economic recovery. It strengthened organizations such as the World Health Organization which played a central role in guiding public health responses, coordinating vaccine distribution, and setting global standards for health protocols. In the context of the NWO theory, the pandemic and its aftermath could be seen as steps toward global governance, where international institutions gain more power to regulate health, economics, and even personal freedoms in the name of public good. The United Nations (UN) and the European Union (EU) are two organizations that already play pivotal roles in fostering global cooperation and governance. The UN, with its peacekeeping missions, humanitarian work, and international law initiatives, is often viewed as a foundation for the development of a global government. As countries face mounting global challenges, The UN's influence is expected to grow, particularly in areas such as human rights, environmental protection, and economic stability. The EU, a successful model of regional integration, may inspire further efforts at global unity, potentially leading to stronger political and economic ties between nations. By 2025, experts speculate that these organizations could expand their influence and authority, further cementing the framework for a unified global government. As more nations collaborate within these systems, there is the potential for a new world order where national sovereignty is increasingly compromised in favor of collective decision-making. This could involve shared governance structures where countries relinquish some degree of independence in exchange for participation in a more coordinated global effort to address global crises. The Green Agenda, or efforts to combat climate change, represents another key factor that may contribute to the realization of the NWO. With climate change being one of the most urgent global challenges, there is growing pressure for countries to adopt policies that limit carbon emissions, transition to renewable energy, and protect biodiversity. Frameworks like the Paris Agreement and other international environmental accords have laid the groundwork for collective action. These efforts could lead to a more centralized form of governance in which global powers, including influential corporations and international organizations, make decisions that affect individual nations. This could mean that nations, especially those with weaker economies or less political leverage, would have to comply with global environmental standards that may override their local priorities or sovereignty. In this context, some view the Green Agenda as part of a larger NWO agenda. If climate change solutions require sweeping global action, this could prompt the creation of governing bodies with the authority to enforce regulations on issues like energy production, resource distribution, and environmental protection. The idea of a single governing body making decisions for the entire planet, including imposing economic and environmental policies that impact all countries, aligns with the broader concept of the NWO. However, this centralized approach to governance comes with potential risks, particularly regarding sovereignty. Critics of such globalism argue that it would undermine national autonomy, with larger powers setting the agenda for smaller, less influential countries. As decisions about climate change, economic stability, and human rights become more globalized, some fear that this could lead to a situation where individual countries have limited power to resist international mandates. This dynamic could fuel tensions, as nations weigh the benefits of global cooperation against the desire to maintain their sovereignty and independence. In summary, the geopolitical landscape of the 2020s, shaped by urgent global challenges, presents a scenario where the New World Order could take shape. The COVID-19 pandemic, the growing influence of organizations like the UN and EU, and the emphasis on a green agenda are all factors contributing to the rise of global governance. While this may foster greater cooperation and solutions to pressing issues, it also raises questions about the balance between global unity and national sovereignty in the years ahead. While the idea of a New World Order NWO continues to gain attention, there are significant counterforces that resist the move toward a unified global government. National sovereignty and cultural differences remain powerful sources of resistance. Many countries, particularly in the West, are increasingly embracing global nationalism and populism, movements that seek to preserve independence and challenge the idea of supranational governance. Leaders who advocate for these ideologies often emphasize the importance of protecting local traditions, values, and economic interests, seeing globalism as a threat to national identity and autonomy. In recent years, this resistance has become more visible, with populist movements gaining traction in countries like the United States, Brazil, and several European nations. These movements reject the idea of surrendering national decision-making power to international bodies, often framing global governance efforts as undemocratic and out of touch with the will of the people. As a result, the push for sovereignty and self-determination could continue to thwart efforts to establish a truly unified global system, with countries opting for greater independence rather than collaboration on a world stage. Additionally, many biblical scholars caution against trying to pinpoint exact dates or years, such as 2025, for the fulfillment of end-time prophecies. The Book of Revelation and other eschatological texts are often interpreted symbolically, and their timelines are vague. Scholars warn that focusing on a specific date can lead to misinterpretations, as the fulfillment of prophecy may occur in unexpected ways or over a longer time frame. They emphasize that, while certain signs may point to the possibility of a new world order, the timing remains uncertain, and trying to predict it could distract from the broader spiritual lessons of these prophecies. While some believe that the year 2025 could be a pivotal moment for the rise of a new world order, aligning with both geopolitical trends and religious prophecies, others remain skeptical about the timing and the accuracy of such predictions. What is clear is that the increasing interconnectivity of the world, alongside technological advancements, could play a significant role in shaping the future. Whether or not this leads to the fulfillment of end-time prophecies, the idea of a one-world government or unified religious system remains a major topic of debate in both theological and political discussions. As we've explored today, the concept of a new world order is deeply intertwined with various end-time prophecies, from biblical visions of a global government to the role of technology in shaping the future. Whether you view these developments as signs of the end times or as part of ongoing geopolitical trends, it's clear that the world is changing in ways that challenge our understanding of power, faith, and human progress. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of a topic that continues to spark debate and reflection. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more discussions on prophecy, politics, and the future of our world. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and take care.